Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a little lathe work, and I have this nice little oak. I'm calling it an elbow. There's an old trimmed up branch that's healed over. I have a branch and a branch. So I think I'm going to turn it sideways. It's fairly small, so it should go rather quickly, I hope. So as you can see, it's a little chilly out here, so I'm going to get the fire roaring and get this mounted up on the lathe. Stay tuned. Alright, I got it centered up pretty good in my lathe. It seems pretty balanced. I got the RPMs right up close to 700. Let's see what she'll do. Well, so far so good. This is really hard wood, I can tell. I think it's white oak. So I'm going to get this marked out for a tenon on the bottom, and then we'll start rounding these corners over to make some kind of a shape. Stay tuned. Alright, I'm going to show you a little something I come across pretty often. If you don't drill out a flat spot for your live center, that's on that end, you'll end up with the bark kind of thick. You can see here I got this little nub. I need to shave that off, but my center point I will lose if I don't transfer it into the wood. So I just get me a small drill bit, measure my approximate depth, and then transfer my hole straight down in. That way when I shave this off, I'll still have the same center point. Of course, I'll double check. It might be off by a 16th or an eighth of an inch or something, but that's no big deal this early in the game. Just a little hint. There we go, the beauty. Let me dress this up in here a little bit and flatten this out, although I think it's fine. Yeah, I'll just leave that till the end. So we got a nice little sturdy tenon. I cut it, I don't know, it's between, it's about 3 3/8 for my larger jaws. That's my new thing. So I'm going to round up these corners and get it ready to flip around. I think we're going to call that good on the bottom. Time to sharpen up. Okay, I had some spots I had to CA glue and fill. There were some big giant pits here. I want to make sure the sidewalls don't fall apart. So I got it to my final shape. All I got to do is do some scraping, and it's time for sanding. A little bit more just to get the CA glue off it. Right here I got a lot. I think I got it. Yep, I just want to touch up the bottom, and it'd be time to flip it around, put it in the chuck, and start hollowing. Alright, I'm going to start it off in reverse. And I'll be doing this for about 20 or 30 minutes, and then I'll turn you back on when it's time to put a finish on. Alright, let's see how we did. I'm going to wipe this down with some denatured alcohol to get the dust off. And we'll let this evaporate for a minute and dry up, and then we'll get some finish on it. So far it looks pretty darn good. Kind of liking this oak. There's a lot going on. Still having trouble with my paper towel shredding. I'll have to get a little brush to clean this area out. Alright, I'm going to clean that out, let this dry up, and we'll get some finish on. Hold tight. Okay, I own exactly 62,382 little brushes. I have stainless steel, brass, plastic, you name it, I got it. You think I could put my hands on one? No. I did find this El Cheapo, and it did the trick. I don't know what it is about brushes, tape measures, and razor knives. Alright, let me get some finish made up. I got to thin what I have out. It's getting old and the alcohol's evaporating out of it. So I'm going to add some more denatured alcohol and thin it out a little bit and get a coat on this. Okay, here we go. Let's see what Mother Nature has in store for us today. Well, right off the bat, I'm loving it. Of course, I'm a little biased, but it's beside the point. It's great. I just dropped my paper towel in the thing of finish. A lot going on in this little bowl. Got some nice bark inclusions. That's some of the filling I had to do because it was an actual hole right down inside the vessel. We got bark going on. We got branch ends like this one. All kinds of good stuff. This is probably going to take me several coats because I thinned it a little bit too much. That's okay with shellac. Let me get my little brush so I can touch up the bark around the edges to lock that up. Make sure it's not going to come apart. I only sanded this down to about 240, 280 because I want to make sure the finish penetrates. I think sometimes if you sand too fine, it closes up the pores and the finish won't penetrate. Just my opinion. This bark's looking good. I hope it stays on there. I put extra finish on the bark. That way it will soak underneath, I'm hoping. And get some extra sticky under there to help hold it on. A couple of pieces on here are pretty flaky. After I get it flipped, I might put some CA glue on them to really lock them up good. Spin it up and just let it rub against the rag, get any big drips off. She looks pretty nice, a lot going on. Look at that beautiful bark inclusion. Had to patch a couple holes like that one, but it was necessary. She looks pretty good. Turn you back on when I get her flipped around. Alright, we got her flipped around. I'm anxious for this one. This is if this works, this will be one of my nicer bowls that I've done. So cross your fingers and hopefully the bark will stay on. Last night after I turned you off, I CA glued this whole surface. I ended up with drips on the outside, so I had to sand it back again, and I'll update the finish. Let me get my face mask and headgear on, and we'll turn you right back on. 700 RPMs. I want to go with nice thin walls on this one. That looks pretty decent right there. Alright, I got my scratches established. Let's start hollowing this thing out. Time to sharpen up. Well, there you go. Don't you just love it? See it? Right there. Got a little bit too cocky and too sure of myself, and got a little catch on the outside edge of my gouge and blew out a big chunk. The bark part, I found most of it. I can glue it back on and repair it, but still now I have a bowl with a repair. Main chunk right here of the wood, I have to look around. I'm going to get my flashlight and try to find it. But that's what happens. I had a nice sharp edge. I was started going real quick. Everything was growing great, and I had my gouge turned just a little bit too much, and it caught this outside edge. So now I'm crawling on my knees looking for a little hunk of wood in a wood stack. Alright, I'll turn you back on if I find it, or even if I don't. Well, guess what? I couldn't find the pieces. I mean, I found a couple, but not enough to fix it. So, now it's giving me mental issues. So what I'm going to have to do is trim this back down to where that break is and get rid of a bunch of this bark. I'll still have some on there, but mental issues. Alright. Now we're on a recovery mission. Here we go. There it goes. Bummer. Momentary lapse. Now I pay the price. Alright, I'm going to lick my wounds for a while and recover what I can out of this bowl, and we'll get back with you when I get a little deeper. Ooh-wee, that's some hard stuff. I'm going to keep nibbling away at her. About got it. Alright. I got her just about down to where I want it. I got about a 1/2 inch on the bottom, 1/4 inch to 3/8 on the side. I'm going to go in there with my little carbide just to take out any tool marks. It'll save a lot of time on sanding. I don't want to go too much deeper. This rounded edge on this helps me make my transition from the bottom to the side. Kind of like it gives it a nice, instead of going down and then going over, it gives it a nice rounded swoop to it. But as you can hear, I got some weird stuff in the middle. Actually got some voids in there, but that's part of it. Alright, other than a little dimple in the bottom, I think I got it pretty good. I'll try to get that dimple out, and then we'll call her good and fire up the sanding rig. See you in a minute. Alright, I think I got it pretty good. I'm happy with it. Happy. Yeah. I'm going to have to round this sharp edge over. The rim didn't end up too bad. We saved a little bark. Old school. Just about got her. I think this is going to turn out just fine. Sounds like somebody's coming with some jingle bells. I think that's going to turn out just fine. Temperature's a little low in here today, so it may take a while for this to dry. Of course, you won't know that because it's a video. Let me show you. Turned out to be a really nice void inside there. I was kind of surprised. See that big old void? But it didn't blow through because on the outside it's pretty solid. That's where the patching the big spots saves you. Alright, I'm going to let this spin. It's actually drying very quickly. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the finish on this thing. I have to do one more coat on the inside. Let's get it flipped around, see if we can get this tenon off. Happy spring, everybody. I don't know about your state, but we're up in the high 40s. Whoops. Had it in reverse from sanding. It's a pretty large, thick tenon on here, so I'm not going to bore you with watching me take it all off. That'll work. I'll start chipping away at it and get it finished up and get some pictures. Okay, as I was so rudely interrupted by a dead battery, because I left the camera out last night and the cold just sucks the juice right out of the battery. I couldn't imagine up in Canada and Alaska. I'm going to get this tenon off and get it sanded up, get a finish on it, and take a couple of pictures, and we'll wrap this video up. Stay tuned. Well, there you go, folks. Another one finished up. Nice little oak bowl. I like it, even though I had the mishap on the rim and couldn't save the bark. I have enough on there to keep it interesting. Kind of like it. I guess it's about an 8-inch bowl. 3 or 4 inches deep. Oh, at least 4 inches. Nice End of a branch there. Got that big void rotten kind of spot on the inside, which I really like because when you turn it around, you can't even tell it's there other than the bark inclusion. It's right about there. I like it. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for clicking on the video. Subscribe if you're not, please. It'd be awesome. I'm getting kind of close to 2,000 subscribers. Might be a little something something if I hit that goal. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Have a Merry Christmas. And play nice.